We're live. We're up. Nice. Okay. Well, I'm going to try to make this the smoothest intro ever. Okay. So, welcome to WunderCAST. I'm your host, Ryker Taylor. I'm joined in studio as always with my lovely producer, Alex Masterson. How's that? Is that smooth?
I'm pretty flattered by that.
Yes.
I'm blushing. I'm like, you introduced me like Vanna White.
That's right. That's right. I did not stutter. So the reason I said that is because I actually just last night I went back and watched a couple of the past episodes that we've done just us. Yeah, cue up a sound effect there. If I find the sound effect, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what comes to mind. I mean, we have fun, right? And the listeners have fun, I guess, right?
Probably fun making fun.
But yeah, no, I was listening to some intros. It's like, man, I feel like I'm pretty decent when I have a guest, but when it's us, I feel like I just like totally fumble it at the end zone. I just don't understand it. So anyway, that said, welcome back to WunderCAST. I've already done our introduction. This is going to be fun. So it's been a couple of weeks since it's just been an Alex and I episode, and I'm looking forward to it. I really just kind of want to go and talk about all kinds of fun stuff today. We've been doing a lot of new things and branching out and bringing on a lot of new clients, and just we were just talking off camera here and off recording, I guess, about just different workload things and things like that. So, Alex, why don't you tell me what you're excited for in this upcoming month?
Oh, Lord. Well.
Oh, come on. You got to be excited about something.
No, I am. I am excited, to be fair. There's a lot that's coming up that I think we're going to end up doing very well with. You just got to realize I'm a very skeptical person, and I like to really be planned ahead before we do things like that, which is ironic because I don't do that in my normal life. But yes, I think that there is a lot of video projects and a lot of logos and things like that. I do feel like I'm at a creative peak at the moment, good and bad. I feel like I shattered a glass ceiling as of late, and so I feel like our product that we're putting out is primo. Mm-hmm. That does lend to the fact that there might be a plateau soon, but not to.
Don't be saying that, Alex.
I didn't say that. Y'all didn't hear me say that. In future, Alex, cut that out. No, but again, I do think that there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up video wise, and unfortunately, we are losing Cassidy, which is my right hand woman. My right. Man, I'm going to try and cue this into my right-hand arm man.
What are you even saying right now? I don't even know. Oh,
there's a very limited audience that will understand that, so that's okay.
I got it. I get it. Okay, nice.
Anyway, but yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming up.
Yeah, for sure. May is definitely going to be exciting. If you're listening to this episode, it's probably going to be June by the time you hear this episode. So when you're hearing us, we're recording this like the last Thursday in April. And we're really optimistic about where we're going. I mean, I know Alex mentioned he's a little skeptical just because we are doing a bunch of new things. And yeah, but that kind of lends to a little bit of the topic for today, which is approaching life with optimism and skepticism. You know, I just kind of decided that was going to be the topic as we were talking through things. Yes, preparedness. Yay.
I told you I like to be prepared.
Anyway, I think that it's really important to obviously balance optimism with, or is it optimism and skepticism, or optimism and pessimism? Those are more opposites of each other. What's the opposite of skepticism? Is it optimism still?
Yeah. You can use it dually. I think.
Wow. Yeah, we're doing this new thing up here at the office called the Word of the Week, and that thing has eluded me. I'm just not good at using words in context. I use them how I want to use them. Yeah. But anyway, I'm definitely an optimist, and I always like to go pretty hard at things. And, I see the sky as blue all the time, and when I don't, it's usually, I'm just in my own fields. But most of the time, I think that, the grass is always green on both sides, for lack of a better term. So with that said, though, there's definitely in business, you've got to have a good balance. We've talked about in the past the speed perfection curve. And this lends towards kind of the same type of topic as that. We're going to have to get a counter going for the amount of times that I say optimism, skepticism balance. For sure. There we go. Yes.
I need another sound effect.
You really do, because like that's like so joyous. You've used that when I talked about my daughter. You've used that when we talked about all kinds of stuff. So it's just, what do we got on deck there? You looking?
Yeah, it's still. I need to update them. I haven't come up with anything as of late. There's 2 different soundboards here, and this is about the only one that's different on one of them.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Nice. I love that one.
And then everything else is kind of a staple.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure. Well, if you're still with us in this episode, by the way, this is WunderCAST, and we actually talk about other things outside of just ourselves and sound effects. Yeah. Yes. Anyway, optimism, skepticism, balance. Let's talk about that more. So, Alex, you kind of mentioned like you like to approach things from a more, not necessarily pessimistic, but just more observing angle. Can you break that down for me when you say like you're more of a skeptic? That sometimes might have a negative connotation, right? What does that mean to you when you say that?
I'd call it cautious.
Okay. So, yeah, sure.
Speaking from a place of being in this position where in high school and college even, I was very procrastinative. I don't know if that's a word, but we're going to use it as
word of the week.
Procrastinative. I was a big procrastinator in college and high school, and it always came around to bite me in the rear end, and somehow I always made it work. So it kind of just became a staple in everyday life, and then I started to use it in my first job, and it did not work out so well. I will not say what happened.
Okay.
You get it.
Yes.
However, with that being said, it led me to be in this new mindset. I've got a completely different outlook on things.
Yeah.
And it, the stern talking to that I got changed my entire perspective, and it made me a little bit more cautious and start to realize that it's better to plan things ahead because it makes it easier on yourself throughout the whole time rather than easier at the beginning and really hard at the end. I'd like to get a good balance of that.
Sure.
So yeah, I'd call it cautiousness.
Yeah. I'd also call it like a how, right? Like you like to focus on how things are going to be practically implemented, which I think is important. And there's a lot of business books out there that talk about like, you got to have a balance of like how people and why people. And I'm certainly like more of like a why person of like, why are we doing this? I care about like, and not to say that I don't care about the how or that you don't care about the why, but it's just like, I am always more like, I try to think about why we're doing this. I'm like head in the clouds. I like to think out here, and you like to think about the how are we going to practically implement that. And that's the one thing that I like about, our relationship. Look at me being all gushy and smooth today, but that's one thing I like about our relationship is just the balance that we have there. And yeah, I think that that's important. Like every business, if you're listening to this as an entrepreneur, you've got to surround yourself with people that are the same. You got to have the same mindset, but also a different mindset. Like you got to have people that share the why, but also the how. And there's different circles that you can be in. Like I've got groups of friends that are, thanks, Alex. Dang, man. I guess you disagreed with what I had to say.
My bad. I was it didn't sound like I was turning it down the right way. So I just made a lot of mistakes.
Wow.
At least my mic works this time.
That's true.
Sorry.
Continue. You have all the power as the producer there. I was going out on a limb. I was pouring my heart out to you. Did you not hear that? No.
I did. And I'm sorry. I was
no, you're good. No, but really what I'm saying here is just like, if you're an entrepreneur listening to this, find out who you are. Are you more of a why? Are you more of a how? Are you more of an implementer? Or are you more of a vision person? Where do you fall? There's not one is greater than the other. You need to have both. They're both very different types of skill sets. That's really the point I'm trying to make. So we talked about skepticism, optimism, but it's more how and why, integrator, vision. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think you need a good balance of that in a lot of situations. And I think that's kind of, I agree. I mean, I do appreciate our relationship in that regard because I think that's something that you kind of need to keep a good balance of. You've got to have somebody who's very optimistic in the sense that you have to set goals and be kind of future oriented. And then you kind of need somebody to keep you in the realist spot. And I do feel like that's where I end up fitting in. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I have to do this at home a lot too because my future wife is very, very goal oriented. She likes to think way ahead. And so sometimes it sounds like I'm trying to burst your bubble, but it's really me just being like, listen, I don't want to let you get your hopes down and something, not work correctly. So I'm trying to think of this in a logistical standpoint. And
sure.
I think that that's really the mindset that I have going into it. And I can understand the other side of it because I'm left brain, right brain?
You're creative
brain. Whatever the creative brain is supposed to be that way as well. But
so I can't use the nerd on you then? Huh?
Nope, no, not this time.
Not this time. Ha, realist.
Yep, there it is.
There it is. There it is. No, but yeah, no, I get it. It's very left brain, right brain thinking. I believe right brain is creative and left brain is analytical.
I like to take notes.
Yes. But yeah, no, and again, though, it comes down to balance. I think you're going to hear that a lot in these podcasts of like these different sides of the coin, and you have to have both. It is if you have more than of one and then the other, then it can lead to various issues. But yeah, if you're listening to this, find out the type of person you are, and then surround yourself with those that are like-minded, but also that share the other traits and skill sets and things like that. It's healthy to have more people like you around you to help feed that energy, but also the opposites so that you can also, tamp that that thought process down and think about things in different ways. I think that viewpoints, a lot of people, especially nowadays, and here I'm going with a totally different thing on this, but a lot of people nowadays are afraid to hear a differing viewpoint. And wow, Alex, good Lord, man. You're not even turned on, bro. People are going to stop listening to this podcast because of you today, man. Golly.
Professional producer.
Yeah, man. Why do I have a producer here? Anyway, he's got the computer going off in the background and he's trying to talk about it and his mic is muted. I mean, this is an absolute meme sesh right now.
Yes, it is.
Trying to make points over here, man. Trying to talk about balance.
It's all in my plan.
Trying to throw me off my game over here. I don't even remember what the heck I was talking about.
I know. I'm sorry. You were talking about the balance of it. You're saying that there's, if you have too much of one, then the other is a little bit, if one's overpowering the other, it can kind of overthrow things.
I feel like
off kilter a little bit.
Did I go beyond that though?
Yeah, I mean, you were a little further beyond that, but that was.
I'm trying to go back to that. Yeah. So yeah, you got to have more than one than the other, or you can't have more than one than the other. You got to have a good balance. Man, I really feel like I was going to make a great point, but anyway.
Well, here I am messing it up.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It'll either come back to me or it won't. And it's what it is. What it is. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at on this. If you're still listening to this podcast episode, bless you.
Thank you.
Totally.
Pardon me.
Yes, I totally understand if you want to go listen to the Joe Rogan Experience. Streaming exclusively on Spotify. This show is not sponsored by Joe Rogan Experience, but it is a good podcast, so go check it out. But no, I know what I was talking about. Too many people in the world don't like opposing viewpoints. And as an entrepreneur, business owner, anybody, it doesn't matter your title, your job role, your standing, anything like that. You got to be willing to listen to other viewpoints. You just have to. You get better that way. Otherwise, you close yourself off and live in a box, and you never grow beyond that. And that's really not a good thing. So just because you listen to other viewpoints doesn't mean that you ultimately have to give in and agree with them. I think that's the other thing, too. People think, oh, if I hear this person's viewpoint, then they're going to change my mind. No, not necessarily. You're not required to change your mind when you learn new information, but you're also not doing yourself any benefit if you're not out there trying to learn new information. Like changing your mind when you learn new information is a skill, and I think that oftentimes gets overlooked, but also not changing your mind when you learn new information and standing your ground and holding true to what you've always believed, if it's something you truly believe in, is also very important. So I think I've made like 5 different points in this one podcast. I hope that they all kind of tie together. Let's go ahead and transition this out, Alex. Like what, let's talk about something else. What's a brand that you're jamming on?
Local brand, actually. It's
okay.
going to be, I'm trying to reach out to them here in the next week or so about doing the brand love, getting research for them. It's a local brand called Oprex. It's a construction company, and I've seen them around town. I've seen them driving around, and their logo just really stands out to me. I really like the colors, and I really like the concept of it, and that's kind of been what's on my branding creative brain as of late.
Nice. Okay. Construction company. A local construction company.
Yep. Shout out to the locals.
Hey. Nice. Would you put them up on, did they get the stamp of approval like MailChimp?
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. Tune into episode 7 of Brand Love, streaming exclusively on YouTube and Facebook.
Yep.
The second Friday of every month. Well, it's like whatever Friday is closest to the 15th of the month is when it goes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
But yes, we'll see. It's TBD kind of thing. I'm going to have to do my research on them. I kind of have to figure out if I like what they stand for or not. So you better have the right viewpoints, basically. So, we talked about not having turning somebody down because of their viewpoints, but you better get it right.
Conform. Oh man, conform or don't make it on Brand Love.
Yep.
Wow. Damn.
Basically.
Okay. Well, yeah. So that's a brand you're jamming on. I'm not invested in cryptocurrency anymore, so I pulled all the money out of that. Yes. Yay. Again, another one, right? But Jonathan did invest in Dogecoin the other day. I'm curious to know what he's going to get out of that.
He'll be leaving us pretty soon whenever he's a tech billionaire.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. I mean, based off the way that its trajectory's been in the last, year or so, it's not looking bad. It seems like it'd be a decent thing to stick around with. So
well, it's gone from 3 cents, or it's gone from like 0.3 cents.
Say less than a cent.
Yeah, less than a cent, and then now it's like trending up around 40 cents. Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's made a pretty sizable jump.
Could you imagine if you'd put $100 in that?
Yep.
Back when it was at 0.3 cents, you would be rolling in it right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Woo. Stop listening to this podcast and go download Coinbase and invest in Dogecoin. I feel like I'm just plugging all this stuff today. Why not?
Need a plug sound effect.
We do need a plug sound effect just so that you can play it at the most inappropriate time and throw me off, man. Jeez.
Seems to be the theme today.
No, it's good. I mean, the good people of the WunderCAST world, they understand. They're listening. If they're listening to this episode, they've listened to enough of our episodes at this point. I would assume that they know what's up. They know what they're getting when they listen.
They know.
Oh, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
They know that.
I pretty much know that. Well, we've had some cool guests on this show too, like on the weeks that we're not totally memeing it up in whatever it is that we're doing right now. We've had some really cool guests on the show as of late. Alex, kind of talk to me about something that you've learned from one of those guests.
Oh, I actually meant to mention this last week, but
okay.
Technical difficulties. What was his name? I'm drawing a blank on his name. The guy we had last week.
Kyle.
Yes.
Bingham.
Bingham. That's
yes.
Because it's Bingham Family Farms. That's right. I was trying to think of the name of their company. Cannabinoids.
Yeah.
I thought it was cannabinoids.
Yeah, I've heard it both ways.
I have too, but tomato, and that one actually stood out to me. I know that that's kind of a moot point because it doesn't necessarily actually teach me anything, but he did actually have a lot of really valuable information, I thought, with the CBD industry, and even off the show, or even when we, turned it off.
Yeah, just for talking.
He was talking about some realistic thought points with cannabis and stuff like that. When he was saying people are kind of not necessarily spreading false information, but giving people false hope in a sense.
Yeah. To make it sound better.
And I really appreciated that because I don't think there's many people that will tell you that.
Yeah. You've got all the people telling you how bad it is.
Yeah.
And then you've got the people that are going the opposite direction with it now.
It's very, I know that it's kind of controversial, but it's not necessarily, the CBD is not necessarily, it's just what the CBD comes from.
Right.
But his viewpoints on that and his objectiveness towards it were really kind of refreshing in a sense, because I know there are a lot of people who swear up and down by CBD, and I haven't tried it, so I can't tell him no, but his knowledge around it and the fact that he had so much information was nice, and not to mention that, or not to say that the other people haven't had good information either, but maybe that's just because it's recency biased, but the guy had a lot of good information.
Yeah, he was kind of, to an extent, preaching having a little bit more skepticism around it, right? Like in the podcast a little bit, he mentioned that.
Yeah. So, well, I think he just wants people to be cautious. Here I am saying my own word.
Yeah.
I think he just wants people to be aware of what some of the things might cause, and, you know, maybe not cause, but, you know, having a good amount of skepticism kind of is what I maybe appreciated about him, because I related to him on a metaphysical level.
And you know what we just did?
Yes.
We circled it back around to the main topic.
Yep.
So here we go. Yes.
I didn't catch that on camera, but
he just fully slammed that with his fist. He was right for that. Oh my God. Well, yeah. No, we always have a way of circling back around. Usually it's you, but today I teed that one up. I tried.
Yep.
So if you listen to this and you made it this far, congratulations. Thank you. And the moral of the story today is have balance in all that you do in all facets. Listen to opposing viewpoints. Have balance optimism with skepticism. Balance your how with your why. The practical with the goal-oriented. The whole thing. That's what I got. And that's the smoothest outro I've probably ever done too. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you in the next one. Alex, any parting words?
I was going to say you should have just ended on that's the smoothest outro I've ever done, but it's too late.
We'll
work on it.
Got it.